So this information should help some people out if you're still confused about betting limits and why these lines are moving. Okay, so this will be a good informational video. Now we're looking at this Cleveland-Detroit game. All right, so you'll see the score 13-4, right? Easy win for Cleveland. They pretty much won wire to wire. All right. Before I explain it, if you take a look at this pitcher, Carpenter, um, he had 3 good starts, 3 solid starts. And then he had a bad start. Okay, and then he follows it up with another bad start. Typical. This is very typical in sports. All right, when a pitcher is pitching really well, then finally he has a bad start, he usually follows it up with another bad start. That's a very typical thing in all sports, with teams, with player props, with players in general. Okay, so this is the game right here that he lost against Cleveland. Okay, so Cleveland won. All right, so that was just a little bit of handicapping right there. I mean, you can just figure that out right there, that he was going to struggle in this game. Okay, but that's not what I'm focused in on here. Okay, so Cleveland ended up winning, we know that. But if you look at these books right here, and you're going to wonder why Cleveland won here, as this percentage was 81%. You'll see this with 81% on Cleveland. And this is the reason why these line services put these percentages out, because they want to try to confuse the public, because they know that these percentages mean absolutely nothing when you don't know how to read the line. Okay, if you know how to read the line, then these come in handy. But if you don't, then they're meaningless, because it just confuses everybody. So you'll see here with Cleveland, 81%. So the amateur player will think, okay, fading the public, there's a lot of articles online about fading the public. Okay, fade the high percentage and take Detroit, right? But no, that's not how it works when you're fading the public. You have to know how to fade the public. So we got 81% here. All right, so notice how this will confirm what I'm trying to explain here. You notice how this public book right here, Bovada and Sports Interaction, are very public books. These 2 books right here take minimal action, right? Because they're a lot smaller, and they only take about 2,200 max on a single wager. All right, so if you come here and you type in let's see, Bovada here. All right, you're gonna go to their review, see Bovada's full review, and they're gonna give you the limits on these games that you're allowed to place. Do you see this? So college basketball, NBA, college football, NFL, and then here's MLB. Okay, you see this? Look at this. Look at the max amount of wager that you're allowed to place at this book. You're only allowed to put up $1,000 on a spread, and a $2,000 on a money line. You see that? All right. To some people, that's a lot of money, but in speaking on volume, it's not. All right. For a book, for a sports book, it's not. You see this? Do you see where I'm going with this? $2,000 on a money line in the MLB. Okay, that's really, really low. All right, so 5,000 on the NFL, 2,500 on college football, 2,000 on NBA spreads. Okay, you see these limits? These are very low limits for a sports book. Okay, and you type in a book like this, which these 3 I'm referring to: Bet, Chris, Pinnacle, and 5 Dimes. Okay, Sports Interaction is exactly like Bovada. They take very low limits, but you take a look at one of these books right here. Let me show you. Okay, you type in Bet Chris. Look at their limits. All right, Bet Chris full review. Okay, we got max bet. Look at this. Max bet limit varies per sport and managerial discretion. Okay, You see that? You know what that means? That means that they take big bets. Okay, they're not putting their limits here because they know they take big bets. All right, you take a look at Pinnacle. You take a look at Pinnacle. This is a book, I believe, in Europe. All right, let's see. This book is located in, okay, it's the Netherlands. We got Pinnacle here. Full review. Look at this max bet. Look at how much they take. You see this? They don't have MLB listed here, but look at how much money they take. They take 10,000 on totals. Okay, in the NBA, they don't even take 10,000. They don't even take 5,000 at a book like Bovada, or even their totals at Bovada are like 1,000. They take 10,000. This is like a max play for an NFL game, and they take it on a total. All right, you see that? NFL, they take 50,000. Okay, NBA 50,000. NBA money line 20,000. You see that? All right, so we're gonna go to 5 dimes. Okay, 5 dimes. See full review here. Okay, look at this. Major sports 5,000 for full markets. Okay, players can rebet unlimited times. Okay, so 5,000, which is, that's a lot higher than Bovada, which took only what, 2,200? And Sports Interaction, we didn't even get to them. Let's get to Sports Interaction. Okay, Sports Interaction. Look at their limits, how low they are. See if this will load. Alright, so Sports Interaction Review. They're based out of Canada. Look at their max bet. 2,200, 2,200. Okay, so it's the same as Bovada. Bovada, I believe, was the same exact thing. Yeah, we did Bovada. So they're almost the same. 2,200 at SIA, and Bovada had it at okay, 1,000. It was even lower. It was even lower for it's $200 lower on an MLB game. Okay, so that's really low. You see that? So these books right here are taking low action. This is why they're moving this line. So when they move this line, it doesn't mean that the public, that there's so much money coming in on the game. You see that? You see where I'm going with this? It doesn't mean that. You see how much they move this line? It doesn't mean that there's so much action, because their book only allows you to place $2,200 wagers, or even $1,000 wagers on a money line in baseball, which these books right here, they allow you to place 5,000, 20,000. This one was like 50,000, upwards of 20 to 30,000 on a single game in baseball. All right, and look at, were they afraid to move their line? 160 opened at BetCris, moved to 165. Pinnacle, same exact thing. 155, moved it to 163, which is not even a half a point. If you're converting that to spreads, okay, that's 9 cents, 8 cents. All right, 5 dimes, 155 to 163. You see that? They're not even afraid. So that's why these percentages are not accurate. Okay, you have to know how to read the public. That is why using the line movements is a lot more beneficial in the long run than using these percentages. Okay, because you could figure out where the money is going. It was clear that the money was not coming in on Cleveland, because if it was so heavy on Cleveland, these 3 books right here would have been moving their line, and they did not. All right, so these, don't be afraid if these public books move their lines like this. This one moved it 30 cents. It's because they don't take big action at these books. They only take up to $2,200 on a single game, whereas these take like 10 times more. Okay, 10, 15 times more than these books. All right, so that is why these books move their line so much, because they don't have as much clients as these books right here. These are big books. They have a lot of clients playing at these books, and these books could get buried right here. These two books could get buried if they don't move their line. So it doesn't mean that there's public money coming in. It just means that they're moving it because they're afraid of this action here coming in on Cleveland. That's why. But was this book worried? No. These books were not worried. These books probably were getting even action on this game. So they don't care. They don't care if Cleveland wins. All right? So that is the reason. Hopefully this video was helpful. All right? I explained the betting limits in this video. So on books and how to read these lines and what they mean. And that should do it for this video. So I'll be back with some more, and hopefully this information was helpful, and now you understand how and when to look for these line movements on these major sports books right here. So like I said, the sports books did not care if Cleveland wins 13-4 because there was even action coming in on this matchup, and this percentage right here meant absolutely nothing. All right, so I'll be back with another video. Stay tuned, comment, rate, and subscribe. I'll see you then.